Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have something interesting to share with you all, and it's on relationship and marriage. Okay, so this week I want to be talking about something the Lord placed in my heart, to talk about with the singles out there. Okay, it's very important. A lot of us don't pay attention to certain things when we're single, and we're so engrossed with the idea of getting married that we don't get certain things right. And then when we get into the marriage, we start to have like issues in the marriage. One of those things that I've realized that people deal with in marriage is discovering their purpose whilst in the marriage. It's very important, very key for you as an individual to discover your purpose, the reason for your creation, to discover it while you're single. If you discover it when you're married and it doesn't align with your partner's purpose, it's going to cause friction in that marriage. And that's why today I want to talk about, how a misalignment in purpose can affect your future marriage. Now, when we talk about purpose, someone might ask, what is purpose? Now, I define it as a vision, a goal, something that you were created to do here on earth. Everyone God created you with a purpose. God didn't create you to just be one of those that will fill the numbers on earth. God is very mindful of his creation. So for everyone that God created, God had a purpose in mind for that creation. Okay. And so one of the things you want to do as an individual is to find out, why am I here? What have I been created for? God, what have you put in me that you want me to let out? So those are conversations that you have to have with God. And you can't have those conversations with God if you don't have a relationship with God. The only people who really live fulfilled lives on earth are those who live a life of purpose, those who are living to fulfill their purpose. Those are the kind of people that don't get fizzled out by anything, and it doesn't matter what happens, they stay focused on their purpose because they have a reason for living. Most times people give up on life is because they don't understand why they are here, and it's very difficult. If you don't know why you're here, you'll be taken out by anything that is out there. So but when you have your purpose, the reason why you're here, even when circumstances come up, when challenges come up, there is a reason for why you were created. So you're going to keep pushing, you're going to keep fighting till you fulfill your purpose. So it's so important for you as a single person out there, a single man, a single woman, to discover why you're here. What is it that God created you for? Okay? What is that thing that is the call of God on your life? Is God calling you into ministry? Is God calling you to be a doctor? Is God calling you to be a caregiver? Is God calling you to do business? Is God calling you to be a speaker? Are you the kind of person that God is calling to go around the world touching lives? There are so many reasons for God's creation. You have to discover yours. I know my purpose. You need to find out what your purpose is. So now it's so crucial to find out why you're here. Now the reason being that when you discover your purpose, it helps you, in attracting the kind of person that fits that purpose. If you don't have your purpose, when anyone comes to you in marriage, as long as they look good, they are financially okay, they love on God, you're okay, you just go with the flow. But can I shock you? If you don't know your purpose, okay, and this person is God-fearing, this person is amazing, and this person knows their own purpose, all right, you're going to be helping that person fulfill their purpose. Remember, because you didn't know your purpose before the marriage, right? But they had their own purpose and they shared it with you. And if you're okay with the purpose and you say yes to their proposal, you guys get married, it is expected that you're supposed to help that person fulfill their purpose. Now, problem will arise in that marriage if you now discover your own purpose. Let's say, for instance, your husband wants to be a medical doctor, or your husband wants to be a pastor, or your husband wants to be a businessman, opening businesses around the world, or your husband wants to be someone who builds orphanages, motherless babies homes. Maybe that's just what he was created to do, to give back to society. And then he lets you know, as his wife to be, like, hey, when we get married, these are some of the things that God has placed in my life. These are the things that I was born to do. I love to sing, I love to rap, I want to do music and all of that. And you say yes to them. When you get married to them, you're going to help them fulfill their purpose. Now, problem arises when now you're in that marriage, you now suddenly realize, like, hey, I know you want to be a pastor, I know you want to be a doctor, I know you want to sing, I know you want to build orphanages, but I want to be a teacher. I want to be a sit-at-home wife. I feel like I'm called to to travel around the world doing this career, or you have a different career path. Now, you see, a problem will arise at that time, because if you are pursuing your own career path and it's not in alignment with your spouse's, career path, it begins to clash. Because the man is going to say, hey, when we were courting or when we were in a relationship, you never said you wanted to be all of these things. Now, all of a sudden, you want to be this thing, and to them, some of them, it will start coming across them like maybe you're trying to compete with them. But little do they know that you are just discovering your own purpose in marriage. That's why it's crucial to know your purpose, okay, before you say yes to anyone. When you discover your purpose, it's going to guide you in choosing who aligns with your purpose. That way, when someone comes to you in a relationship, you ask that person, what's your purpose? What are your goals? What are your visions for your life? And they themselves will now ask you, if your visions and your goals align, your purposes align, then it doesn't matter what comes up in that marriage, both of you will be able to go through it, okay? So there are consequences, okay? There are challenges that can arise if both of you don't sit down to discuss your purpose, or both of you don't even know your purpose, okay? And you head on to get married. Now, one of the challenges that can arise is lack of shared direction, okay? If one partner feels that, I've been called to a certain path, okay? It could be ministry, it could be business, it could be missions, it could be anything, okay? It could be anything whatsoever. Purposes differ, all right, across board. So if this person feels like, hey, I've been called to this path, and this other person has different priorities, right? If you guys go ahead without solving all of that, in that marriage is going to lead to a lot of tension, a lot of feeling of being misunderstood or being unsupported. One person is going to feel like, hey, my partner doesn't support me, my partner doesn't support my priorities, okay? And that's because both of you are not aligned in your purpose. So it's important to be aligned in your purpose. When you discover your purpose and your partner knows their own purpose, now you have to check and be sure that both of you, your purposes, they align with each other, guys. So if it doesn't align with each other, it's going to leave one person feeling like, you know what, I don't feel heard, I don't feel supported, and it will breed a lot of tension, and there will be a lot of misunderstandings in that relationship or in that marriage. Now, another thing that can arise when there is a misalignment in purpose is that's when your purposes don't align. Remember, you have to discover your purpose. Now you've discovered it, but let's say now they don't align. If you go ahead to marry a man or a woman whose purpose doesn't align with you, you both are going to be having conflicts in your decisions. Because when one person is saying A, when it comes to a major life decision, the other person will be saying B. Okay, you both are never going to be able to come to a compromise, because one person is going to feel cheated, one person is going to feel left out, one person is going to feel like, hey, my own priority, my own purpose is not being given attention to. All right, so it's going to affect you people's decisions. You guys will have a lot of conflicts when it comes to locations, where you want to live, because purpose most times determines where you live, the kind of jobs you take. It can also affect the number of kids you even want to have. There are things or career paths that you can choose as a person that if you start having 4 or 5 kids, you might not be able to pursue. So if you are that kind of a person who knows that you want to be a top person in your career path, and your partner doesn't align with that purpose, with you, it's not in alignment with that purpose, both of you are going to have issues. That means you guys, maybe he wants like 6 kids and you want just 2 because that's what you can handle. At the end of the day, both of you are going to be having conflicts in a lot of decisions, a lot of issues, financial issues, where you guys will live, the kind of jobs you take, the kind of kids you have. It's going to cause a lot of issues. So it's so important that you and your partner align in your purpose. Another thing that it causes is emotional strain. All right, if 2 people are not aligned in their purpose, there'll be a lot of emotional strain in that relationship, knowing fully well that there'll be a lot of quarrels, a lot of arguments, a lot of this feeling of being unsupported and all of that. All of that tension will build and cause emotional strain on both parties, okay? So you really don't want to be with someone that his or her purpose doesn't align with yours, okay? Because one person is going to feel unfulfilled at the end of the day. One person is going to feel unsupported at the end of the day. One person is going to feel left out at the end of the day. And that's not what you want. A relationship or a marriage, okay? Most importantly, a union that God brings together is for alignment of purpose. God is not going to bring someone into your life who is misaligned with you in purpose. And that's why you have to seek the face of God when it comes to settling down. He is the one who knows the end. He knows your end. So he knows. See, he has prepared someone for you. But a lot of us, we are not always so patient with God, including myself. And that's why a lot of us have made mistakes in times past. Okay, so if you want to do it and do it right, you need to do it with God. You need to do it with God. You can't leave him out of it. Okay, because he's the one who has given you this purpose. And he's going to bring someone who's going to help you fulfill your purpose in him. All right, so it's so crucial to make sure that you and your partner align in purpose, so that you don't breed resentment in that relationship. I've seen a lot of couples who, went ahead to get married. They weren't aligned in purpose, and they got married, and at the end of the day, the wife is feeling so resentful, so bitter, and the man is feeling trapped in the marriage. They are not happy. Okay, and there's no point being in a marriage that you aren't happy. How can you live years in a marriage and you're so unhappy? That's why it's so important. Beyond love, beyond, he buys me this, he buys me that, he takes me out, he takes me this. Beyond financial security, you have to ask yourself, do I align in purpose with this person? Okay, at any point in time, am I willing to support this person's purpose? Am I willing to support this person's journey? Okay, and it's a question both of you need to ask yourselves, so that you guys will have a relationship that is free of resentment, free of anger, free of toxicity. All right, for any strong and thriving marriage, okay, it's essential, it's highly essential that both parties have clarity of purpose. You know what you're here for, you know what your goals and your visions are, and your spouse also knows what theirs are as well. So when both of you understand what your goals and your purposes are, then you guys try to find out if you're aligned, and then you discover ways that both of you can work together to make sure that both of you fulfill purpose and fulfill destiny. If this video blessed you, don't hesitate to share it till I come your way some other time. Remember, some other time, guys. You guys forgive me today. But anyway, till I come your way some other time, make sure that before you say yes, you know your purpose and your partner knows his or hers. God bless you.